I said Happy Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day. Thank you, Mr. Columbus, for discovering America. This is from history.com. 29 states do not celebrate Columbus Day and have renamed it or replaced it with Indigenous People Day. Watch this for Voices of America.
In recent years, states, counties, and cities throughout the United States have increasingly been choosing to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day, often in lieu of Columbus Day. Last year, President Joe Biden became the first U.S. president to formally recognize the holiday. To many Indigenous peoples, Columbus Day is an affront to a history of centuries of genocide, forced assimilation, and discrimination. Columbus and his men enslaved, raped, and tortured the native people they encountered, bringing with them the institutions of colonialism. Part of the motivation to replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day is to challenge the doctrine of discovery and provide a more complete look at U.S. history. However, some believe that a holiday is not enough to remedy the injustices that Indigenous peoples have experienced and point out that no U.S. president has ever made an explicit apology for the treatment of Indigenous peoples.
Sound like the blacks, huh? What the? All lies. Anyone believe those lies, you got problems. You got problems. Why don't you start thinking for yourself? Why don't you become an individual? Step away from the crowd. These people hate America, and they're feeding you lies about the country. In those places where they are renamed it and not celebrated and appreciated Christopher Columbus, they need to be ran out of this country, out of America. Go somewhere else to be happy with what they're doing. Some of you may be asking, who was Christopher Columbus? Who was he? Why was he so great? How was he able to discover the greatest country on this side of heaven? Watch it from Michael Knowles.
Why does the left hate Christopher Columbus so much? It's because Christopher Columbus embodies Western civilization. A transnational, devotedly Christian illiterate of low birth, and he played the single most important role in the founding of America. Cristoforo Colombo was born in 1451 in Genoa, Italy. He was born to no rank. He received no education other than the extensive self-instruction into which he would channel his sizable genius. He was a gentleman of great force of spirit, of lofty thoughts, naturally inclined to undertake worthy deeds and signal enterprises, patient and long-suffering, and a forgiver of injuries, and wished nothing more than that those who offended against him should recognize their errors and that the delinquents be reconciled with him. It must be nice to sit in the freest, most prosperous, most charitable country in the history of the world, and from a position of totally unmerited luxury, slander the man who made it all possible. Those who call him a murderer and a tyrant, and whatever other nonsense they belch, should consider some other words of Columbus. Let those who are fond of blaming and finding fault, while they sit safely at home, ask, why did you not do thus and so? I wish they were on this voyage. I well believe that another voyage of a different kind awaits them, or our faith is naught. For those who didn't catch that last part, he's telling them to go to hell, and so am I.
Michael, amazing. White folks, this is why we need you all to make some more white babies. I tremble at the idea that white people will be the minority in my country. It's over. These people are going to erase all things that were good about this country and give it all bad names like indigenous, whatever they call it. That doesn't even make sense. That's amazing. Thank you, Michael. Here's another point Michael made about Columbus is that he wasn't educated, and he was able to do great things as a result of not being educated. Educated people can't do nothing. But destroy because they're on an ego trip. Here's another great point made by Scott Adams. Watch this from X photos.
Israel is a preview of America in the sense that one group has been educated to think that the other group has their stuff and needs to give it back. That can only go in one direction.
That's deep. It reminds me of that too. In Israel, the Palestinians think that Israel owed them something, or they pretended to think it. They just hate them. And then in America, the blacks think that the whites owe them something, or pretended to think it. They just hate them. It's the same thing. The same spirit. Just like in Mommy Africa, the blacks over there accused the whites of owing them something. They were mad at them. And the whites gave up their country and moved to the foreign land, and the blacks destroyed it. And now they're going to the foreign lands and destroying. Amazing, huh? It's the same spirit. Thank you, Mr. Columbus. As you sound pretty bold, too. That's from the good old days when boys were boys and men were men. Whether you're talking about Israel versus Palestine, the founders of America versus the Native Americans, the black versus the whites, the rich versus the poor, it's all the same. Lord, no, that's true. It's all the same. And when you wake up, you're going to see that it's all the same. Losers versus the people who go and make it happen. Jealousy and envy versus success. It's all the same. And rather than learning how y'all do that, they get mad and want to destroy you. Jealousy and anger is evil. 888-7753. So happy Columbus Day.